How much does it cost to replace a heat pump or maybe upgrade to a heat pump? Well, it costs between $8,000 and $23,000. But before you go, let me tell you why. So the range to purchase a heat pump, let's assume that you have a system, a central HVAC system already in your house, right? You've already got the inner workings, the lifeblood, the ductwork, the line sets, all that. You've got it all there. So we're either replacing a heat pump with a heat pump or we're upgrading from a traditional air conditioner to a heat pump system. So the range for that is between $8,000 and $23,000. And I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, oh my gosh, that's such a big range, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. But as with everything, there's some caveats here. You know, it's like not every house is the same size. Not everything requires the same amount of air conditioning. So that $8,000 to $23,000, that's covering from a 1.5 ton system, which is gonna be like, you know, a small starter townhome around like 900 to 1,200 square feet, all the way up to a 5 ton system, which can cover like 2,000-ish square feet, depending on your insulation. So what we really care about here is less about the range, because that range is kind of like trying to buy a car, right? I don't know if you've gone to buy a car recently, but you could buy a trim level package that is just bare bones, that somehow you still have crank windows and a manual transmission in the year 2025, our Lord, or you have a rocket ship that has basically no steering wheel and somehow it drives itself. You can buy everything in between. The same thing goes for your heat pump. So when it comes to replacing a heat pump, we have different levels of efficiency. I know that a lot of times we talk about efficiency levels with air conditioning, but a heat pump also has a cooling mode. So we are air conditioning your home with a heat pump. And so there are different levels of efficiency to heat pumps, and so there comes different price tags with it. So in general, if we're going band for band here, just looking at them like level 1 versus level 1, a heat pump at its base level is going to be more efficient than the base model air conditioner. That's because heat pumps start at just a higher efficiency. So what we have is we have heat pumps starting at a little bit higher efficiency, so it brings that price up just a little bit. But also too, it's a dual purpose system. So like your air conditioner, you have a condenser and an evaporator coil, right? And that has one function and one function only, and that is to cool your home down in the summertime. But a heat pump is a transformer of sorts, Q Optimus Prime, and we can have it heat your home in the wintertime by running it in reverse. So it runs more often than your air conditioner, so it is going to get more usage. It is going to lower your utility bills, especially if you are an electric-only home. You're going to have lower utility bills, as opposed to the cost, I should say, of running electric heat strips. So whenever you're comparing what should I buy, why should I buy it, there's kind of some tiers to this, right? So like if you're just air conditioning and gas furnace, you can get a super efficient system. You can get a really efficient air conditioner, and you can get a 90+% gas furnace in your house. You're gonna have a wicked efficient system for both heating and for cooling. On a total electric home where maybe you don't have natural gas, or maybe you just don't wanna deal with the propane company anymore, most of the time what we see is a electric furnace or an air handler that has resistance heating. And as anyone who knows who has one, I'm sure I'm pushing on a pain point here, which is it is expensive to run those heat strips. So what we've done is with a heat pump is we're actually able to run a heater in your house, keep your house nice and comfortable for the price of running your air conditioner, as opposed to the price of running your electric heat strips. That is the price breakdown. So when it comes to the actual how much is it going to hit you for? Well, let's be honest, averages are averages for a reason. And so we can pretty much kind of prognosticate and tell you, hey, the average cost to replace or upgrade from an air conditioner to a heat pump in 2025 was $13,000. I've got to check my notes here, $13,450. But as all the mathematists and scientists in the viewership audience know, averages can get drug up or drug down based on how high or how low the top ends or bottom end of the spectrum is. So really and truly what I care more about is what the median cost to replace your heat pump or upgrade to a heat pump is. And that comes out to $12,860 as the median cost to replace your heat pump system. Now, what do we have that comes along with it? So a heat pump system is going to come with a multitude of warranties. So there's manufacturer, and then there's warranties that we as Yarbrough Sons offer. So let's start with manufacturer, because that is something that you're going to get no matter where you purchase this heat pump from. So heat pump warranties will alter a little bit from manufacturer to manufacturer, but I'm going to go with the ones that we do most. So we're going to say Lennox, we're going to say American Standard, and we're going to say like the Daikin lineup. Those three have almost identical manufacturer warranties. So we're gonna have a 10-year parts, 10-year compressor, and a 10-year indoor warranty. So the blower, the heat exchanger, or not heat exchanger, the electric heat strips, all of that. Now, where we can differentiate ourselves. So here at Yarbrough Sons, most of the time, whenever we are talking about upgrading someone's home comfort with a heat pump, we're looking for something that's more efficient and more worry-free of a system. And what we want to do along with that is you can opt to have our standard warranty, which is a 1-year workmanship warranty, where if something fails within that first year, we'll cover it, no charge. However, if you would like a worry-free system for pretty much the life of that system, we offer a 10-year extended warranty that we often will just work into the price right up front. That way you can see, hey, I am in this system for $12,000. Also, fun fact, this median price of $12,860 includes our 10-year labor warranty already factored into it. So whenever it's not an upgrade, it's not a trim package level that you've got to just elect for, it has already worked into that price. So you get a worry-free system from day one when you upgrade or purchase a heat pump from Yarbrough Sons. But like I said, the average cost to replace your heat pump system or upgrade to a heat pump system is going to be between $8,000 and $23,000, just depending on the size of your home and the efficiency level that you opt for. The average, $13,450, but again, that average is pulled up by the folks who are choosing a little bit more efficient system, and the median cost is $12,860. I hope that this gives you some direction. If you don't have a home comfort team and you're in the Oklahoma City metro area, we would love to be your company. If you're curious as to what it costs to get a heat pump replacement, scan the QR code here and you can get an instant estimate in less than 2 minutes. All we ask is your name, number, email, and your address to make sure that you're in our service area. But beyond that, guys, I hope this helps. Hope this gives you some direction on why you should consider upgrading to a heat pump. Do something nice for somebody. You never know, it might change their life. I'm out.
Yarbrough Sons, Yarbrough Sons.